Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So today we're here with our Atlas brushless 80-volt chainsaw from Harbor Freight. Okay, and this is an 18-inch chainsaw, although I've never cut anything that large, but we've been using this infrequently for about 3 years now. And the nice thing about it is by being battery powered, it's always ready to go. So let's get into it and show how we use it, and we'll talk a little bit about the luck we've had with it. All right, so first things first, I'll take the battery out of it and show you some of the features of the saw. So this saw has a chain brake, and the chain brake also serves as a master on-off switch for the saw. The saw won't run unless the switch is pulled back. If you bump that even momentarily, it will cut off. But that's pretty nice because you want that as a safety feature. Then obviously the trigger has a push button lock, and then you simply pull the trigger. Then on the side, it has the same kind of adjusting as any chainsaw pretty much. You loosen the nuts and then tighten that screw to tighten the blade, or loosen it to loosen it. Okay, one of the things I didn't show out there was it did come with a wrench for these nuts. I've lost that at some point. This just came with one of the gas saws I bought, but the small side fits these, so they're the same size as what comes on the smaller gas saws. And then the screwdriver end works to adjust the blade. Now this end is a spark plug wrench, which this one don't need. If you're gonna work on this at all, take the battery out of it. It's just a lot safer. The on-off switch again, like I said, that's off, that's on, but if you just take the battery out, it don't matter. And then just to show real quick how you adjust the chain, after using that a little bit, it's stretched just slightly. I like to be able to pull up in the center or down, but you just wanna be able to pull it till those teeth don't clear. So see how these teeth have cleared the bar, the groove in the bar? So we need to tighten this up just a hair. And to do that, we just loosen up these nuts. Don't try and take them all the way off. Then put your screwdriver in the slot and tighten it, so righty-tighty, and that tightens our chain up. So now, that's still just a hair loose. Tighten it just a half a turn more. There we go. That's where we want it, or that's how I run it anyway. If you go tighter than that, you can wear out your bar and heat it up. If you go looser than that, you can throw your chain off. So now just retighten the nuts. And you can wipe down this saw, put the blade cover back on it, and it's ready to go the next time. All right, well, these Atlas 80-volt batteries are nice because they do have an indicator to show you what the level of charge they have is. So this one is fully charged. We've used the battery-powered trimmer quite a bit, which uses the same battery, and that one is used at least every week. The chainsaw we use about once a month. One of the things I really like is this is the bar oil reservoir for this saw. That's the only oil it uses, since it has no gas engine, and that doesn't leak at all. You can see, first of all, the tank is kind of translucent, so you can see that that tank is full. In 3 years, this bar oil tank has not leaked a drop. And that's unusual because most of my chainsaws, the bar oil tank seeps around the cap. This is one of our ATV trails out in the woods, and the other night, this dead tree fell and blocked this path. So that's pretty much what I do with this chainsaw. And it cuts really well. If I'm going out to cut firewood, I grab one of my bigger chainsaws that's gas powered, but I've thrown this thing in the back of our Jeep after a storm when I know when I'm going to drive to work, there's going to be limbs across the road, which happens frequently down here. Pretty much anything that you don't want to use loppers on, this chainsaw is awesome for. So you saw that was a pretty good sized limb, and it went right through it. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the sharpening of the blade after it gets dull. And Maggie's dad is an expert at sharpening these, so I have him sharpen it for us. Okay, it's still a good idea to wear gloves and a helmet. The nice thing is you don't need hearing protection with this saw, but face protection is good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of these overhead limbs. I'll go ahead and cut off this bigger limb. That's a big heavy limb and it went right through it. Clean up some of these little limbs here. Now we'll get this big one. That's pretty nice chainsaw work right there. Now a lot of that has to do with sharpening the blade, and Maggie's dad is an expert at sharpening these chainsaw blades, so I leave that up to him, but I'll tell you what, he's got this thing cutting like a samurai sword. I don't know, being from China, would it be samurai? Okay, and once we've got this stuff cut up, I just throw it out of the wood. A lot of times if I'm in the Jeep, I keep a tow strap. And what I'll do is I'll cut them into sections I know the Jeep will pull, wrap a tow strap around them, and drag them out of the road. I don't try and clear the whole thing. I just want to make enough path that I can get through. Go ahead and cut this one more time. Now, like every chainsaw, if you don't hit the ground, the blades will last a lot longer. Okay, and that 80-volt Atlas brushless 18-inch chainsaw from Harbor Freight did a nice job of cutting that brush, clearing this trail. Now, the only thing is you still have to pick up and throw the limbs manually. If they can figure out how to make this do that, we have something. Okay, so that's our Atlas 80-volt 18-inch chainsaw from Harbor Freight. And after all that cutting, which wasn't a lot, but sure was easier than having to start a gas chainsaw, we're still got a fully charged battery. Now the chainsaw's off and it can't come on, but the other thing is we just pull the battery out. When I go out to ride these trails, this is a great place to carry it. I just put it in this holder on the front and it's ready to go anytime I find a limb down. The other thing that's really nice about this Atlas chainsaw is when I'm at work, if something falls in the driveway or across the driveway, Maggie doesn't have to figure out how to start a saw to use this one. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm starting to enjoy the fact that I don't have to start it either. The other big one for me is you don't have to worry about the gasoline clogging up the carburetor and adding stay-bill and stuff. And also, if you carry this in your vehicle, it doesn't end up smelling like two-stroke gas, which is important. All right, so that's our video of the Atlas 80-volt chainsaw after having it for 3 years and how we use it. Like I said, this thing gets fired up and used about once a month. And like I said, we use the battery continually on the trimmer. But for the chainsaw, this was $159 when we bought it. And we've had it about 3 years now. And I'll tell you what, we've liked it a bunch. If you liked the video, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. It definitely helps the channel. And we invite you to subscribe to see more. Have a great day and be safe.